Explain the draft, how it works for the 3 days.
Right, because if you don't know so much, they've been changing it. It used to be a 2-day event. Now it's 3. So Thursday night, prime time, round 1. That's it. I think there's like 10 minutes between the rounds. 31 because I think the Dolphins got one stolen from them or taken from them. Then Friday at night again is rounds 2 and 3. I think it's 5 minutes between the rounds, but it's a longer night because it's 2 rounds. And then quick turnaround Saturday all day. Rounds 4 through 7. It's a mondo. And then after that, they immediately start signing undrafted free agents, which means I'm working all day and Sunday too. So it's a big one. It's a lot of fun.
Sunday because of the undrafted free agents?
Yeah. And those are people, fans want to know about them too. And they kind of trickle in one at a time.
But you're going to come to Camila's birthday party at 6 o'clock.
Yeah, I'll be at Camila.
On Sunday.
If you didn't know, everyone, my niece is turning 11 on Sunday, and I'm going to be there. Shout out, Camila. Happy birthday.
Okay, now we did the ABC of the draft. Here's a question I posed to Iggy this morning. I'm reading it. What would it take for the Niners to make a big splash in this draft, and would they make one? So those are 2 questions, and then I got a third. So what would it take for them to make a big splash? Because, Iggy, they don't even draft till late in the third round?
Yeah.
Okay.
To me, there's only a couple of things they could do to make a big splash. They could, if they want to get into round 1, I think there's only one thing they can do. It's trade like Brandon Ayuk or someone as good as him, and I don't think that's going to happen. That's not going to happen. So forget that. They're not going to get in round 1. A big splash they could do is trade Trey Lance, and I think they'd be willing to trade Trey Lance. They made that pretty clear. They're answering calls. If some team would offer them a second-round pick for Trey Lance, I think they'd take it. Does that qualify as a big splash? I mean, it'd be big news, but I don't think anyone's going to give them the second-round pick for Trey Lance. Do you?
No, I don't think so. It would be a big splash, and it would be big news with tremendous repercussions for what they gave up for him in the first place. But I don't think I think his trade value is very low. Is there any other scenario in which they could make a big splash, like trade a established veteran, Kittle, somebody like that?
They could trade Kittle. They could trade Armstead. I think what Lynch said yesterday was they have big plans for this year. It almost feels like they want to keep their older vets together for one more year and take one more shot at it before they start getting rid of guys. So, I mean, trading George Kittle for a rookie, I mean, that might be something they do next year, but I don't think they will do it this year. Same with Armstead, too. So I don't see them moving up really high in the draft. And also, it's like, from everything they say, the experts and John Lynch, it's a deep draft, but not a very talented draft at the top. So the teams aren't looking at a lot of these players as future Hall of Famers. So it may not be the year where you want to move up and consolidate picks. It might be the year where you want to be down.
Okay.
Later.
My third question, I'm going to go to my notes. If they don't make a big splash, the Niners, is it okay not to?
I think it's okay. I think they made a big splash in free agency with Javon Hargrave. They think that was the best free agent available. He was great last year. That's a big splash. They gave him a ton of money. And now they have a lot of draft picks late, and they've been very successful drafting late. I think it's okay because even though they're all in for this year, you still have to plan for the future too. And having 11 draft picks gives them all kind of ammunition for the future. So I think it's a smart way to go about the draft. I think they're actually doing a good job.
It's not good. It's nice to praise them. I'm glad we talked about that.
Yeah. They're a very good franchise. I mean, we talk about the quarterback position like 75 to 80% of the time, but the rest of the franchise is pretty much good. I mean, the offensive line is like, it's halfway done, but everything else is pretty much good. The draft, they've been doing this for a while. They're good at it. And I don't know. I have confidence in everything except the most important thing.
I feel exactly the same way.
Yeah.
Now, you've mentioned Armstead's name a few times. I have a question for you. He refuses to talk to you.
Yeah.
It's his own business. It doesn't make me like him. It doesn't make me feel he's a professional, but it's his own business. If he were talking to you, in a media setting, what questions would you ask him?
What questions would I ask him? You know, I've never been that interested in him. I would ask him probably about other players.
Yes.
You know, when we were in Seattle, he played next to Kerry Hyder. They won the division. Kerry Hyder's a defensive end. He started defensive tackle, played the whole game, and did a good job. And I asked him, hey, like, were you impressed that Kerry Hyder started out of position and played so well? And he said, next question. I don't know. Just thought it would be, because he's a very smart guy, and he can actually say specific nice things about other players. I thought that would have been interesting. Actually, I think where he's best at is breaking down the opponents. He's very smart. Robert Saleh told me that. Like, of all of his players, Eric Armstead watches the most film and called Saleh with the most notes and the most suggestions, like a coach. So it'd be interesting to actually talk to Armstead each week about what he sees from the upcoming opponent. But he's not that forthcoming in interviews. I think he's probably more forthcoming with his coaches and teammates.
I got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
he's very analytical and smart.
I have covered players, hundreds, who were not in themselves all that interesting, but would give me insights into other things.
Exactly.
And they were very valuable, although I probably never wrote a profile of them.
I'm not that interested. He doesn't really talk about himself in an interesting way, but he'll talk about his teammates. He'll talk about the game, the opponent. He'll talk about his charity in Sacramento. He has a lot of things that he's very deep about. So he is. And yesterday he gave the media 13 minutes. He's very easy with his time. He used to not like talking to the media. When he was young, he was injured, and a lot of the questions were, so what's up with your injury? He hated that stuff. But now that he's an established good player who makes a lot of money, comes out there, answers questions, 15 minutes, very generous. Captain.
So I would like to point something out. You're a lot more generous toward him than he is toward you.
Yeah, he's got this personal beef with me. I don't have anything personal against Eric Armstead. I don't even know Eric Armstead.
I just find that very interesting. And you know what? These things are funny. Sometime he'll be retired and he'll come back to an old-timers day and he'll seek you out. He doesn't know it.
Or something. Yeah.
It happens all the time. Yeah.
Hey, remember 20 years ago when we hated each other? No, I didn't really hate you, but hey, how you doing? Good to see you, man. That stuff happens all the time.
If you were to see Anthony Davis now, I bet he'd be very happy to see you.
Absolutely. It would be a trip and a half to see Anthony Davis. That would be really cool. I wonder what he's doing.
You would like it.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think he's on social media. One of these guys you can't track down. I would love to know, where is he now, Anthony Davis?
You know, I bet the team could help you with that.
Yeah, I bet they could. I'll talk to him. That would be an interesting interview.